Welcome inside the Red Chair Theater with Albert Pujols, Chris Young, Matt Vasgersian. We take one game in this segment of the show, and we break it down soup to nuts. And we have selected the Dodgers series opener in D.C. Of course, the Dodgers go off as big favorites in this one. They've got Dustin May on the mound. He was so impressive in his first start in over 2 years. Let's get right to the beginning of it. Top of the first. We hate to bore you, but Shohei Ohtani cashed in, gets rid of the 0 for 7 that he was mired in.
Yeah, the guy goes 0 for 7, didn't have a hit in a couple games. It's like, what's going on with this guy?
That is the fastest single of the season in terms of home to first time, 4.37 seconds. Next batter is Mookie Betts, and the Nats are out of danger. Mackenzie Gore, after that big strikeout outing in his lid lifter, really good again tonight. Josh Bell in the second draws a base on balls against May. Paul DeJong is next. Base hit. Uh-oh, something happening here. Next batter is Jose Tena. Tries to bunt Bell over. Will Smith gets him at third.
Oh, that's good defense right there. I understand the play, trying to get the bunt down. You're trying to find a way to manufacture runs, especially with the offense of the Nationals. Will Smith does a great job being on jump right there.
And now it's Dylan Cruz. Off to a slow start, as you see. Under Mookie. DeJong scores. And another National is thrown out at third. So not even 2 innings of baseball, and the Nats get 2 runners thrown out at third base.
Yeah, sometimes with great teams, if you try to force the issue, they'll show you why they're really good teams.
And then James Wood would reach on an error by Miguel Rojas. The Dodgers did not play a clean start to this game. Errors, bases on balls, and the Nationals have a 2-0 lead. Top of the third now. Max Muncy. Liner for Alex Call. We saw this play earlier. Great diving catch.
I mean, to be able to make that play right there, you got to get the jump, like you said, Albert. You got to be able to get jump, and you got to be convicted, because if you're in between right there, that ball goes all the way to the wall.
And how important would that catch be? Well, there would have been 2 men on in front of this. It's still a 2-run homer for Shohei, his 4th of the year, and the Dodgers tie it at 2. And that's where we'll take our first break in the highlight rip. Shohei Ohtani's numbers this year are somehow more impressive than when he won his 3rd MVP award in 2024. He's hitting it harder. He's more patient, not chasing. Walk rate's up. I mean, is this sustainable? Is he going to finish with better numbers than last year?
When I see the numbers, especially the walk rate and the lower percentage of swinging at the first pitch, maybe he's being more selective, or sometimes when you're coming off of these amazing years, you continue to do amazing things. AP, and you can speak to this maybe, when you come off MVP seasons, do you find yourself feeling your way through the beginning of the next season to try to see if guys are even going to come at you or not? Or is that something that you try not to allow?
No, I didn't. I didn't think like that, but early in the year for me it was about seeing pitch, because you break camp, sometimes you don't get enough at-bats and you don't feel comfortable, for the season. So for me, I don't know if this is the case for Shohei Ohtani, because he's having a good year so far. But I think, seeing pitch, he probably doesn't feel as comfortable as a play. And in my case, that was it. Like, I was a guy that I always like to see pitch, especially my first at-bat, because I always feel like if I can get 3 or 4 or 5 at-bats, and pitch, and I got it off that guy, then my next at-bat might be able to help me out, because I already saw his sinker, his curveball, his changeup. So later on, that would have set up the rest of the game.
And it had to be frustrating for you, because you're on a very short list of guys that your last name was like an adjective for, like, the Pujols treatment,
yes,
the Bonds treatment. Like, you're coming off of one of your 3 MVP seasons, and nobody wanted anything to do with you, and you're just trying to track pitches early in the season.
See, might be, but I think that as a player, and see why I can speak for this, that's the last thing that you want to think about it. Because I had a good hitter like Yadier Molina, behind me, hitting 4th sometime. And but my set of mind was like, I'm hunting my pitch. If it's not there, I take my walk. But if it's there, I'm ready to go. And I think the mistake that we make as a player sometimes is thinking about, oh, they probably don't going to challenge me. And they do challenge you, and you're like, oh, I'm in the middle now. What are they going to do? So I think my mindset was always like, hey, I'm hunting my pitch. If it's there, I'm going to put a good swing. If it's not there, then I'm going to take my walk.
Let's go back to the highlight rip. We pick it up with the game tied 2-2 after the Shohei homer. And we'll get back to the highlights. Mackenzie Gore was really good, as we mentioned. 8 strikeouts for him tonight. He had 5 of them on the curveball. Top of the 5th, and he faces Ohtani for a 3rd time. Earlier, it was a slider in the dirt, a slider that didn't get called for a strike, and then a heater that was turned around for a 2-run dinger. So in the 5th, he starts him with a heater. Another heater swung on and missed upstairs. boy, and that slider almost gets out.
Yeah, when he hit it initially off the bat, when I saw it go up in the air, I'm like, he just got him again. And it wasn't the wrong pitch. It was just the wrong execution. He missed up in the middle of the plate.
Mookie Betts then with a ground ball to end the inning. It was an interesting couple of at-bats to Shohei, right? Slider, slider, heater, 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 slider. And it was almost 2 homers. Mackenzie Gore was really good. Here's the curveball success once again. And, you know, this is a guy with all the pitches. He doesn't just lean on his curveball for strikeouts, but that's what worked for him tonight.
Yeah, but the reason his curveball and breaking ball work so well is that he's able to throw that fastball in the righties, which opens up everything for him.
James Wood, opposite field. Two-run shot.
Man, James Wood is a special talent. I remember seeing the crazy minor league numbers he was putting up. Now getting an opportunity to do it at the big league level, he's well on his way to being a great player.
Yeah, we wanted to pause it here, Albert, because look at where the homers are coming the other way. I mean, that's got to be a thing of beauty for any hitting coach to see.
Especially for a young hitter, you know, to be able to do that and drive the ball the other way and put it in the seat. I mean, no concern about pulling it, because as a young hitter, especially early in your career, you just want to be a pull happy. And for him to do that and hit the ball the other way and put the ball in the seat, that shows you that his power is more left center than pulling the ball.
Boy, is that impressive to watch. For a 22-year-old kid, CY?
Yeah, to see him be able to drive the ball the other way, the way that he does, it lets you know that he's a polished professional hitter. Granted, he still has to make some adjustments, and I understand that, but the power is going to continue to develop. This is a 40 home run player. The way he's going to get to the 40 home runs, he is going to start pulling home runs at some point consistently. But I think it's much easier for a guy who has already learned how to drive the ball the other way to learn how to be a more aggressive, get the head out a little more, and pull some homers, as opposed to the opposite of the guy who's pulling balls down the line, and that's his only supply of power. That guy does not know how to drive the ball the other way. So I will take this version of James Wood as far as the starting point any day of the week for any hitter.
Impressive. Let's go to another impressive young Nationals outfielder as we pick up the highlights again. That's Alex Call. Made a great diving catch earlier. More opposite field hitting. This one to the gap in right center. And the next batter is Luis Garcia Jr. So we saw 2 Nationals get thrown out at third, and we're about to watch a National get thrown out at the plate because Call paused. He didn't trust that ball was going to get down. That little hitch, that hesitation, cost the Nationals a run.
Yeah, right there with 1 out, that's the only time that you find yourself in between from time to time, because where he can't be overly aggressive. It cost him right there.
Keibert Ruiz is next. I've been calling him Keibert for 5 years. It's pronounced Keibert. And the Nationals lead at 6-2. Let's give you guys some respect. Top of the 8th, Dodgers trail by 4. Here they come. Ohtani with a man at second. Strikes out looking. Mookie Betts is next. Come on, dude. That was a strike. Sit down. Mookie with an RBI single, scoring Michael Conforto. And Nationals fans are getting nervous.
Yeah, when you're playing the Dodgers, you see it building up. You see the tension arising. You see guys continue to put out good at-bats and give themselves a chance to come back into this game.
Tommy Edman makes it a 6-4 game. It's a 6-4 game here, I beg your pardon, with a Will Smith RBI single against Kyle Finnegan, who is working in his 3rd straight game. Just a 2-run game. Kike Hernandez, the batter, has the go-ahead run, a swing and a miss.
That at-bat right there really stood out to me. Finnegan went right at him. 3 heaters right there challenged him.
There's still a 9th inning to play. 2-run game. Shohei Ohtani against Finnegan. Changeup misses. Breaking ball misses. We were watching this live, guys, and see why you said he wants nothing to do with him.
Going into the at-bat, you're saying, okay, we're in a 2-run game, top of the 9th, 2 outs. I understand that you normally would not want to walk the tying run on, but when that tying run is Shohei Ohtani, who has a single, a triple, and a home run in the books already, you have to force Mookie Betts to beat you.
That was a chance for a cycle, by the way, for Shohei. You know it was on his mind. Mookie Betts with the ground ball. That's how it ends. The Nationals survive having 2 runners thrown out at third, a runner thrown out at the plate, and a kind of wobbly lead. Credit the Nats, man. They beat a juggernaut tonight by a final of 6-4. We all thought it was just a completion of the Dodgers cycle. They were going to come back and win, just like they did against the Braves on Wednesday when they were down 5-0. Give the Nats a little credit.
Definitely 100%. I think that last at-bat against Shohei right there. I don't know why they missed it wrong and tried to pitch it wrong. I would have put it right away at first, because you know the guy already showed 3 hits with the homers. You don't want to make a mistake, and he put another ball in the seat. So although he has an MVP on Mookie Betts, but I would have took the chance with Mookie like they did.
Yeah, at some point you got to pick it, but definitely props to the Nationals. Those young players are gritty, grindy, pitching well, playing well, aggressive, and not intimidated by the big bad Dodgers. So bravo to those guys.
Dodgers can be beat. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. Mike Trout, after a slow start, is just doing Mike Trout things since then. 4 homers in his last 5 games. He homered in 3 straight games. OPS over 1,100. And the 3-time All-Star hoping for a clean bill of health to play a full complement of games this year and get back to being an MVP candidate once more. I'm with 3 three guys who are not only friends with Mike, they've been teammates with him in a couple cases for a long, long time. Matt Vasgersian, Chris Young, Justin Upton, Albert Pujols. We want to talk about Mike's superpowers and what makes him go.
Yeah, with Mike, the thing that always stood out to me as being a teammate, I had the opportunity to just play with 1 year, both you guys, a lot longer period of time, and y'all have had the chance to talk to Mike about hitting and understanding every little idiosyncrasy that he's trying to fall in between and what he's trying to feel. And when you're talking to a great player, the moves are going to be small that they're trying to make. The adjustments are going to always be small. But what I always admire just from jumping in the cage with him, he is still this version of Mike Trout, just so everybody else at home knows. He hasn't been on the field. He hasn't been able to go out there and produce. But when he's on the field, he continues to produce. But what he does so well for me is that he can make adjustments on the fly, Matty. If you could take Mike into the batting cage, and I'm sure you guys can tell this, when he gets in and he wants to make an adjustment, he'll just go in there, say what adjustment he wants to make, take 5 swings, make the adjustment, and take it out to the game. I had to lock it in for dozens and dozens of swings and then hope it translates to the game. His athleticism is able to apply right away. But what I wanted to do here is talk to two guys, because when players are breaking down other players, y'all could see completely different things as far as the conversations you had with Mike to what drives his success. So I want to start with you, AP. You have an opportunity to play with Mike. When things are going really well for him, what is he doing?
Well, when things are going really well for Trouty, one of the things that he doesn't do is chase the high fastball. You know, but when he struggles a little bit is when that front side sometimes flies open. And then that's why he struggles with the high pitch, because what that happens when you open up that front side like right there, that high fastball you can't catch up because you barrel, you know, it's getting flat. We're going to see those 2 homers right here, down and away. When he keep that hip open, and you can see it right, freeze right there. You see it right there what I'm talking about. And the green one, that's the homer. And on the left side, yellow, that's when he's flying open a little bit. So if you go slowly, you can see, which is, you just mentioned it. It's not a big move, just a little move, but enough for you to get under that ball. And when Trouty gets in trouble, it's sometimes that he already has an upswing. And when he gets in trouble, he tried to get it too much, and that's where he get under that baseball. So right there, Mike Trout, probably one of the best low ball hitter in this era and probably ever. And when he gets in trouble sometimes is when he chases a high hitter, because he gets a little bit too quick on the front side. That barrel gets flat, and he get under the baseball.
Matt, you know what I love so much about this segment? This is not a segment that the player could look and be like, man, these guys don't know what I'm working on. They don't
same
know.
Hitting group for 10 years.
They don't know what I'm trying to do.
Nobody knows them better.
This is straight from behind the scenes information for everybody at home. So I'm loving this so much. So AP, pitch selection, getting the ball down, don't chase the high. J-Up, what did you see from Trouty?
Well, it's very similar.
Okay.
For me, Trouty handles the pitch up and out over the plate. It's the one that nobody hits up and in that he has trouble with.
This was the homer from the other night.
That was the homer from the other night. For me, it's when he doesn't have room to swing the baseball back.
Okay.
And sometimes he gets himself crowded by getting too close to the zone.
Okay.
And that's what you saw there. So
comparing these two right here, show us what it means to where you say he's getting too close. This is from 24, and then the one on the right is from 25.
I know it's easy for me to see, but to me it feels like he's on the left side in 2024, he's fallen over the plate a little bit. Here he looks a little bit taller, and you can see that window underneath him where he can stay in his posture and hit the ball. That high pitch, he actually handles the one out over. It's the one that gets super close to him. So when he's going really good, you'll see him get dusted a lot, up and in, because everybody's forcing it up in there. But when they make the mistake like they did the other night, they're probably trying to go a little closer to him. They leave it out over. He punishes them.
I got a question, because this has been the book on Mike for years, right? He's going to kill anything at his knees with spin. Even a heater down there he's going to get to. The book has always been this up here. You can get him out up. So if you're Mike, you're aware that you're going to be approached like that. You're aware that they're coming after you like that. What does that do to your hitter's psyche? You just waiting for a mistake at that point?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, everybody knows, you know, because of the scouting, where his weakness is. But if you don't make it, like J-Up just say, they try to probably go up and in a little bit and left it out, and he put it in the seat. So that's the thing. When you try to make that pitch, which I believe, you know, there's a lot of pitchers in the game, they can do that, but you need to be consistent. And if you miss against a guy like Mike Trout, he's going to make you pay like he did that night.
I agree. And what makes Mike special is when he's feeling good like that, there's not a pitch that's going to get him out, and he always seeks out. He has such a good eye that, like Albert was talking about earlier, he gets patient, he's seeing the ball better, and now everybody's in trouble.
Just to be clear, Matty, majority of hitters in the game, up and in, down and away. Like, those are the holes for most players in the game. But when you start talking about the elite hitters, even if they have those same holes, like AP was saying, you still have to execute the pitch. And then when you have a hitter the caliber of J-Up or AP or Mike Trout in the box, and you know you can't make that mistake, you know what happens? You make the mistake
Yeah.
because you're
You're
trying
dead.
to stay away from it. So the pressure of having to be perfect in the situation is where pitchers make the mistakes.
Fun, man.
And another thing, Matty, that Trouty, and you know J-Up, he doesn't chase, only when he's off a little bit, he chases maybe 1 or 2 balls here and there, but he doesn't. He takes his walks. He takes his walk over 100 walks every year. So it's not a guy that you can just go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna miss up and in, and maybe leave one there. I mean, try to take his walks as well. And when he doesn't feel good, that's what he does. And when he finds his stroke, he carries it for a whole month and tear it up.